Hello and welcome back to the Daily Danny. Okay, basically now I'm going to show you the books that I'm going to read for this holiday, and then I'm going to show you the books that I haven't read but I want to read, and that the books that I want to recommend to you guys to read for this holiday. So let's get started. Okay, the first book that I'm going to try to read for this holiday is actually The Serpent Shadows by Rick Riordan. I'm actually reading it at the moment. I'm like halfway done. I'm on like 200 pages or something, and it's really good. The Serpent Shadows is the last book from the King Chronicles trilogy. First book is actually The Red Pyramid. The second book is Throne of Fire, and the third book is The Serpent Shadows. First book, The Red Pyramid. The second book, The Throne of Fire. Obviously, you guys have to read those books before reading this book. I mean, what's the point of reading this book if you don't get the book? Nah. Second book that I want to read for this holiday is Magnus Chase, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. I'm pretty hyped for Rick Riordan because he's gonna have a lot of new books next year, and this one just came out and it's pretty good. Just look at the cover. It's so shiny. Well, not really shiny, it's just colorful, and there's a bright sword, and there's a blue cat, I know, and there's a blonde guy, and it's God of Asgard, and you know, Thor, Loki, Marvel. Anyway, I'm gonna read this because it's Norse mythology, and I love mythology books. I've read Heroes of Olympus and Percy Jackson, which is Greek mythology, and there's a little bit of Roman mythology in the Heroes of Olympus. And then there's Egyptian mythology for the King Chronicles, and this is Norse mythology, which I haven't read. Norse mythology is pretty much Thor, Loki, if you know them, and I love Marvel too, so winner. The third book that I'll try to read for this holiday is Jenny Han's book, which is To All the Boys I Ever Loved. This is pretty kind of, yeah, from the title it's kind of girly, and the cover it's kind of girly, but I've heard so much good reviews on this book, and honestly I'm not that much of a big fan of a romance novel. Like, the only romance novel I read is The Fault in Our Stars and Why We Broke Up. Those books were really good, especially Why We Broke Up. My feels. But I got recommended from two of my friends actually, Nara and Denisha. They've read this book and they loved it, and I can tell it's kind of cliche, I mean, from the title, but give it a shot. Keyword is I'll try to read it because it's holidays, so I'm not gonna finish all of the books I read, but these two books I will read for this holiday, because my friend Daffy here tries to spoil me this, and I've already got spoiled by Denisha when she said, oh no, I'm not gonna spoil you guys. Okay, those are the books that I'm gonna try to read for this holiday. Now I'm gonna recommend you guys some books that I've read, and maybe it's a good read for you in a holiday. I've mentioned this book just now, and I made a review in my blog, which is thedailydanny.tumblr, and the book that you guys should read is this one, Why We Broke Up by Daniel Handler. This romance book, it's kind of painful for me to read. I mean, from the title you know why we broke up, so we already know they broke up, but this book just shows how a good relationship turns to just downfall, and then read that book. The next book I'm gonna recommend is Better Me by Tahir Mafi. This book was so good. I have not picked up the second and third book. I mean, there's so much books to read, and I can't buy every book. There's so little time with schoolwork and stuff like that, and TV shows and movies. This book is about a girl who has powers where when she touches something, it either dies or will be destroyed. That's why it says my touch is power, and that's the word my touch is lethal. But this book has some really cool handwriting and cool writing style, because I'm guessing that the words that are stripped, meaning that's what she's thinking, while the words that are not stripped is what she tries to be positive, something like that. I don't know. I have not read the second and third book. I think it's called Ignite Me and Unravel Me. I don't know which one is the second and third, but I'll check it out later, and I'll leave the Goodreads information down in the description. This last one is actually a series, but there's also a novella. I think I don't know, maybe it's a novella, but I don't know. The Lunar Chronicles. The Lunar Chronicle. was me trying to make sound effects out of my mouth. But it failed. So. Okay, the first book from the Lunar Chronicle series is Cinder. These books are basically about retelling of a fairy tale, but in a sci-fi techno world. I mean, they go to the moon for the Lord's sake. I'm not a big fan well, actually I am a big fan of retelling of fairy tales. I mean, I love fairy tales. This one is actually one of the coolest series books about a retelling fairy tale. This is basically Cinder, which is Cinderella. As you can tell, she's a cyborg and she's wearing red heels. She's a cyborg, and I'm not gonna spoil it because I think it's best if you don't know what's happening in the book or you don't know what's gonna come, because these are all mashup. As in the first book is Cinder, which her name is Cinder, about Cinderella. Second book is Scarlet. As you can see from the cover, it's Red Riding Hood. I mean, who else wears a red cape? Superman? The third book is Crest, which basically, if you don't see the hair very long, which I'm guessing you guys know who this is. No? It's Rapunzel. Okay, yes, this is Rapunzel, and let me tell you, Cinder, Crest, and Scarlet have really great journey. They have this protagonist, the evil queen, which her name is Queen Lavana. She is so evil and she's so easy to hate. I think you guys will love it. Fourth book is actually out, called Winter, and it's about Snow White. And yes, it's about Snow White. It's about Snow White, and it's really cool to see all of these fairy tale characters kick butt together and be so badass. Don't worry, ladies, there's a lot of the Prince Charming are all in the book. But they have different names, obviously, because they're retelling the fairy tale. So you should read this. Also read the last book, Winter, where you could see the information down below in my blog, The Daily Danny, where I'll put the link. Okay, for this book, it has connection to the previous books which I told you, which is the Lunar Chronicle, which is Ferris. If you don't know, you can see the cover is pretty cool and it's kind of shiny. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, hoo hoo hoo. Okay, Ferris is also a fairy tale retelling. It's just about the evil queen, which is Queen Lavana. It shows how she became the evil queen, her origins, and what caused her to be so evil. Stuff like that. I really enjoyed this because I really like to read books about the protagonist, I guess. I mean, it's fun to know more about the villain and how they became evil and stuff like that. And this book was so shockingly short, but so good. And Marissa Meyer, which is the author of the previous book and this one, made a great character building and stuff like that. You can read this if you want to before reading the series, because this is a standalone. You don't have to read the whole thing to understand what's wrong with the queen. If you read the previous books, you'll get more feels. You'll understand what's going on and stuff like that. Really recommend it. Very recommend it. Okay, I'm gonna recommend you guys this book, which I don't have yet, but I have the ebooks. You guys should read this one. I haven't read all of them. I only read one chapter, which is Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. Sure, I'll post a picture on... Boom. I'll post a picture somewhere around here. Somewhere. So basically they have 10 chapters. Just like the Bane Chronicles, which Cassandra Clare always gives the ebook for free. 10 chapters. There's a rumor where she won't be selling this book as a physical copy, which is very pissed me off because I like physical copies more than ebooks, because ebooks hurt my eyes and they're addictive, so which is not good. Basically, this book, Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy, follows Simon, where if you guys read the more instruments, you guys know what happened to Simon in the last book. So Simon went to the Shadowhunter Academy where he learned to be, you know, that, no spoilers. And then along the journey of him studying and trying to learn, a lot of previous characters from both the series, the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices, have appearance there. There's a lot of backstories, a lot of flashbacks, so if you love the Infernal Devices and the Mortal Instruments, you will absolutely love this book. Okay guys, that's it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you actually read the recommendations I gave you, or you can read the books that I'm gonna read. I don't know. tell me down below, or maybe you could just tell me in my blog, thedailydanny.tumblr.com, which I'll also put the link down below. And I'll see you guys next time with more videos. Goodbye. I'm gonna try to carry all the books that I showed to you in this video except for Shadowhunter Academy because it's an ebook. It's in my phone. I'm gonna start with the heaviest one or baddest one, which is Brass. Then this is gonna be followed by Scarlet, Cinder, Paris, whatever. Pooh, what did that British accent came from? And then Why We Broke Up and Shatter Me. So all the boys I have left, the Burnt Shadows, Magnus Chase. Oh, the cover's so pretty. I did it. I feel like some stupid idiot, but YOLO.